So when we sleep and we have an empty stomach, then the activity, the contractile activity of our gut changes to a very unique pattern. It's a 90-minute cycle. Very powerful waves of contractions migrate from the esophagus all the way down to the end of our large intestine. And they move very slowly. This has been referred to as the intestinal housekeeper that sort of cleans the gut from any residue that's present. And the rhythm for that is generated by the brain, so it's dependent on the input of the vagus nerve on the second brain in the gut. And this has been something that also should occur during daytime, when in between meals, when our stomach, our intestinal system is empty. However, with the sort of modern habit of snacking in between meals, so a lot of people don't have that during the day, but have it during sleep. If you add the microbes into this now, it's quite likely, not really proven yet. I mean, the microbes obey some kind of a circadian rhythm by themselves, so they're different during sleep and during daytime. But it's quite plausible to assume that this powerful wave that sort of cleans everything out will also affect the microbes, the composition of the microbes. Because if we don't have it, so people that don't have that for some reason, they will develop abnormal colonization, for example, of their small bowel with a lot of microbes that don't really belong there. So clearly an important role in regulating the populations and the regional distribution of these microbes in our gut. What happens during sleep? So during REM sleep, so when we have a lot of activity going on within the autonomic nervous system circuits within the brain, and the signals are being sent to the gut, so our body is inhibited, but not our intestinal activity. So in many ways, emotions that we see visually, that we experience visually in our dreams, have their mirror image in terms of gut activity, contractions, secretions. And again, I mean, this, like everything that goes on within our brain emotionally, always is reflected, just like our facial expression reflects our emotions. Everything reflects our emotional state, either during waking time or sleep time, at the gut level, and the microbes who live in that environment are affected by it. So it's an area that's not studied in great detail, but probably very important for an understanding of how the microbes, the gut, and the brain interact and maintain health. So sleep is a very important ingredient for health, regulation of the immune system, but probably also regulation of the of gut function and particularly gut microbial integrity and well-being. We know quite a bit about what happens during sleep and during dreaming. You know, in psychoanalysis, this is a big window into our emotional lives. So, you know, Jungian or Freudian psychoanalysis have sort of spent a lot of time interpreting dreams and getting an access to this process. A big portion is probably the processing and consolidation of memories that have been experienced during the day. Many of these memories have a gut feeling component. So because every time we have an emotion during the day, there's always a counterpart at the gut level that is then through these sensory pathways, goes back to the brain. We may not experience it during the daytime, but it's encoded in this vast database within the brain. So what happens then during sleep, there's this retrieval and then processing and consolidation of these memories, including all the gut feelings that are associated with those experiences that we had during the day. I think it's a very important point to emphasize that emotions have an intricate component of gut activity and gut feelings, regardless if we feel it, like the butterflies in the stomach or the knot in the stomach. every emotion has a component that the brain engages gut activity, and that's being reported back to the brain. So you have to look at an emotion really as a circular process within the brain-gut axis. And during sleep and during dreaming, there's almost certainly a consolidation and processing of this myriad of gut feelings that are generated throughout the day.